everybody. So, I went to the hospital today. It's my hand. I still haven't taken it off yet. I went to the emergency room to be more precise. And so I went because I had a severe anxiety attack, and it wasn't like a small anxiety. No, it was like I couldn't talk, I couldn't function, like, just thinking about it, just like thinking about what causing it triggers another one. So I'm gonna try to explain exactly what happened, but alright. So I was in class today, and we were working on an assignment, and my anxiety attacks are triggered by stress, and so I was working with this group of people, and we were working to we are in Spanish, so we were translating from, Spanish to English. Getting, just English sentences to Spanish, not from Spanish to English, English to Spanish. And so, this time around, I was in charge of the notes or whatever, which made no sense to me. I don't like doing that sort of thing, but it's what I was assigned to do. So, so everyone was I was, so I was, okay, so, I was looking at the paper and I couldn't find the word that we were looking for, so I went to go grab my vocabulary sheet, and the two other, so it was me, two other people, and my best friend, or one of my best friends. We'll just call her Layla. We'll call her Layla. So, my friend Layla is sitting behind me, and, she's just sitting there, doing her work. She's with us, but, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. And and the other two kids, Azazel and freaking Castiel, we'll just call them Azazel and Castiel. Azazel and Castiel are yelling at me, really bad. And so I finally just, I go and I grab my thing, and by now I'm stuttering really bad. And the reason that I'm stuttering is because, that's what happens when I was, that's what happens when my, anxiety attacks get bad. It is, I start to stutter, and then it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I was so I was going to my next class, and while heading to my next class, I was not doing okay. I tried to stop and talk to my friend, and I couldn't even talk. I was just I couldn't really say anything, and so I go and I grab my stuff, and I'm heading to class, and I get into class, and I'm trying to explain to my friend that I want him to tell the teacher that I'm having an anxiety attack. And so I'm all like, Jonathan. His name is John. And I was like, John, John, and I'm just stuttering, trying to say, John, I'm having an anxiety attack. Tell the teacher. And so eventually, I don't know how, he realizes what I'm trying to say. And so he goes to tell the teacher, and they send me to the office because I like this teacher. He's a good guy and everything, but, like, he doesn't know how to handle an anxiety attack. And so I get into the class, and they, like, or I get into the office, and they instantly, they're just like, because I've had anxiety attacks at school before, and they've never been like this. Usually I just, like, I start to have, like, I start to hyperventilate, and then I'll just, like, I'll be able to calm down, and after, like, 10 minutes, you know, after about 10 minutes, I'm fine. But if I have a full episode of, like, anxiety, they last up to 3 hours. Like, I've only had episodes like this twice. One was yesterday and one was today, and they both lasted up to 3 hours. So, yeah, so they send me to the office, and they just straight send me down to the nurse. And the nurse is, like, trying to figure out, like, what's going on. So she's asking me a bunch of weird questions. And then the counselor gets involved, and she's asking me if I'm doing any drugs or anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not on any drugs. And she's just like, well, okay. And they both have no idea what to do. So I just, like, lay down in the cot room, and they call my mom, and they're like, we don't know what to do. You should probably take him to urgent care. And so, eventually, like, my mom shows up, and eventually, like, you know, she shows up, and then we go to urgent care, and I'm trying, like, so the doctor asked me what was going on, and I was like, stuttering, like, really bad stuttering. I was like, I'm having a hard time talking, and I'm getting confused really, really easily. And he was like, what do you mean by confused? And I was like, just, like, trying to explain the littlest things, or, like, trying to explain things, and little things like that confuses me. And he was all like, take him to the emergency room. I don't want him to have to sit here for, like, an hour if there's something wrong with his brain. You know, if something in his brain or something seriously wrong is going on, I don't want him to sit here and be like this. And so we go over to the emergency room. My mom talks to the secretary, and like, within 2 minutes I'm back in a room. And so we sit there, and I'm trying to explain to the nurse what's going on, and she's all like, okay, what's wrong? And I'm all like, I say the same thing as I said to the doctor. I can't speak very well. I'm having a hard time speaking. Littlest things confuse me. And so they're all like, okay, do you have to go pee right now? I was like, yeah, kind of. She was like, okay, take this cup and go pee in this cup. And so they took a urine sample, and I was like, okay, that's normal. And so I get back, and they're all like, so the doctor wants to take blood samples. And I am horribly afraid of needles. Needles scare the living crap out of me. Like, my camera's not very good on this, so I can't really show you, but I have 4 puncture marks on this arm, like on my right arm alone. 2 of them was they were injecting... Mama, what was that numbing agent called? Some numbing agent that didn't even work. Like, it was supposed to make my arm numb, and it didn't work at all. And so up here, okay, so she tried to get, like, the nurse lady tried to get, like, she injected me with something down here, and then she just couldn't get my vein down here. So up here on my hand, she injected me with the same thing, and then put an IV in there, and didn't hit my vein. And so they had to call down a chick from the lab and have her, like... Okay, so I have, like, a couple bruises on my arm because they tied that that rubber... Like, because they have to tie it really tight. But, like, they tied it so tight that it bruised up my arm, like, on my arm on where it was. And so the chickadee, she's all like, okay, I'm gonna get some blood out of you. And I was like, okay. So I like this whole time I'm looking up at my mom and just like squeezing her hand because I don't like needles. It's not even that they hurt that much, is I just don't like them. And so she's all like, "Okay, I'm gonna draw some blood. Everything's gonna be fine." So I'm sitting here talking to my mom about something. I don't even remember what. Like I don't remember a lot from this. I just remember like what happened, you know, like. And so I'm talking to my mom, and I feel her like, because after she's done, she like washed it off with disinfectant, and I feel her doing that. I was like, "Oh, are you getting ready?" And she was like, "No, I'm already done." I was like, "Oh, okay." So like I look over to the camera, or to the counter, not the camera. So the counter's like over here, the bed's like here. I'm laying down in the bed, and the counter's right here. She's sitting here, and so I see her set down my like the container of my blood on the thing, and it's like that much, and then the tube is still like full, and the tube is about this long or something. I don't know. It was like this long or something. I don't remember how long it was, but like the tube was full, and then like the plunger thing was over here, and so like this was pulled up all the way. The tube was full because like you have to inject the tube, or you have to inject the needle that's attached to the tube. That yeah. Anyways, so like all the way to the tube was full, and so I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." You know, I thought that was gonna hurt more than it did. So later, my tests just come up completely empty, and I'm like, "Thank all things unheavenly," and I was just like, I was just so happy that nothing was wrong. Anyways, so now that like that's done, I had to wait. Okay, so I was there for about 5 hours, and about like so majority of this time I'm having like my anxiety is like really being mean, and like majority of this time I can't talk very well. You know, like my mom was freaking out. So finally I'm calming down, I can talk again. Like the things that I'm saying are actually coherent. They come in with a pill to relax me after I'm calm, which it just calmed me down more because I was still a little like stuttering a little, and you know, but like I was better than now. And so what we did is I took the pill, and then the doctor prescribed me some, and I'm not going. Okay, so I'm at home now. I've eaten. You know, I'm fine now. I had a smaller I started. Okay, so I was calling my dad because he lives out of town. Anyways, I was calling him, and I was trying to explain to him what was going on. He was asking me like, you know, do you know what caused it? You know, things like that. And I was just like, I'm trying to explain it to him. This whole time, like, trying to explain to him what happened is causing me another anxiety attack. And so, like, I was able to, like, get over it quick, though. Like, it was still, like, kind of bad. Like, when I got home, because we were picking up my prescription, and so we were in the parking lot of Safeway. And so she comes out, like, my mom comes out with my prescription. I'm on the phone with my dad, and she's just like, because when she left, I was fine. I wasn't having an anxiety attack or anything like that. When she comes back, she kind of sees that I'm freaking out again. And so she's all like, "Let me talk to your dad, and you need to calm down." So I hand her the phone. I'm just like breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, because that's what I'm supposed to do. It just that's what you're supposed to do. It calms you down. And so so I'm doing that, and then finally like I get home and I can take so it's like half of a milligram is what like one of the pills has. I have to cut that in half, and I have to take a quarter of a milligram. So I take a quarter of a milligram, and that calms me down. It must be like real potent. I don't know what it is, but it must be like. And the pills are tiny too. It's kind of ridiculous. The pills are like that big. Yeah, the pills are like that big, and I have to cut those in half and take half of one. I don't even feel it like going down. So I just thought that I'd let you guys know how my day has been, and this might impact videos. I know that I don't upload a lot already, but because of this problem, and I've had anxiety for a while, as some of you may know, but like because of this problem and how it's getting worse, it may go on for longer. There's no way there's no way of me knowing how long it's gonna be or anything like that. I could be like this for the rest of my life, and that's just how life is. And I know I'm gonna have to learn to deal with my anxiety and if I can, beat my anxiety. But yeah, so I'm not going to school tomorrow because I'm going to go down to my dad's, and we are going to. Well, he lives in Portland, kind of like he lives in the Portland area. I'm not gonna say like exactly where it's like, oh, this is his address. He lives in the Portland area, so like here's Portland. He lives in this general area. So yeah, I think we're gonna go into like Portland and find me somewhere where I can get the help that I need. So yeah, that's how my day has been going. Comment down below how your day's been going. And yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.